listening to I Think Pixels, the one and only official video game podcast of Culture Bop. We have quite the show for you today. It's been a while since we talked anything really, I guess, news related. But there was some big stuff that happened this last week that we kind of want to go over. So we're going to have us a little news topic today. Yeah, we're going to do that. Also, I have, all kinds of horror movie things to talk about. And, I mean, you know what it is. It's the week of Spider-Man. So we're going to give our first impressions on Spider-Man. Of course, I am your host, the one and only Bebop Man, Josh McMullen, and I am joined, as almost always, by one of my two co-hosts, Dylan Pigeon Shepherd Martin. Fella, how's it going today?
Hello.
Pigeon Shepherd, huh?
Pigeon Shepherd.
That's your name. Don't wear it out.
Yep.
Okay.
My dog.
Well, how you doing?
Well, I was fine, and then my dog started erupting in the other room, and that's concerning.
You're probably getting robbed.
I hope not. I'm protected if so, but I do hope not.
Yeah, that would be bad.
It would be. I don't think I would have to go to work tomorrow if that was the case.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, because the first text I'll get back is, were your keys stolen?
Right.
Yep. Nope.
That's saying something, man.
Yep. I know.
Oh, boy. And then you'd be like, yes, they stole my keys because I had a precious pearl on it.
Yeah. I had a weightlifting belt and a bag of dog toys in my car that they thought was just too precious and had to take. And they just drove off. They didn't want the car.
They did not want the car.
They just took it for the dog toys.
Oh, God. That would be incredible.
Oh, Sabrina.
I wonder if you could get away with a lie like that.
I can... I'm an okay liar. Sabrina just sent me a text saying that there was a cat outside of the window, and then the dog just started freaking out about that. So I was being robbed, but just by a stray cat.
Oh, those damn cats! Yeah. How dare they?
Pussies.
Well, I guess Austin's out this week. Because he has butthole issues. Yep. As always.
Wait, is he out of... Oh, yeah. I think it is butthole issues.
Yeah, it's always the butthole with that guy. The Chalky Milk Man. That's going to be his name from now on, Chalky Milk Man.
Chalky Milk Man. That's the saddest superhero.
It's something.
Damn.
Oh, man.
Sorry, Austin. I'll try to redeem him by the end of this.
He's good. He's doing good things. It's not butthole issues. He's got adult things to take care of, and we're very supportive. Even if it were butthole issues, we'd be very supportive.
Gundam Model Assimilator.
I'd be less supportive of that. All right. Well, I guess we'll get started. I want to talk about a movie called Frozen.
What?
Yeah. This is a movie that came out in 2010, I believe.
Okay.
And was directed by someone known as Adam Green. He was I became familiar with his work because of I forget what DVD I had, but I remember that it had that it was produced by Anchor Bay, and that one of the trailers before it was for this little movie called Hatchet. And I remember at some point reading like Bloody Disgusting or something like that, and thinking to myself, oh, this actually might be kind of cool. I might be interested in this. And then I sought it out, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, fucking throwback to kind of old school 80s ultra gory slasher flicks. And so I watched it, loved it, and then the next big thing that I remember reading about him was that he was working on this project called Frozen, and that it was going to be a complete departure from Hatchet and a little movie he had done called Spiral. So that happens. I check out this movie called Frozen, and I was kind of enamored with it. Basically, the whole thing with this movie is that it's this group goes on a skiing adventure together, or I don't know why I called it adventure, but you know what I'm saying.
I do.
So they're going skiing, and they go up for one last kind of outing before the mountain closes down. It's the last day of the weekend, and the thing won't be open again till Friday. And they're closing down the mountain. They want to get one last run in, and they bribe the guy to let them go up the mountain. Well, they're headed up, and then there's a storm approaching, and a whole bunch of like miscommunications happen, and they end up getting stuck on the ski lift up the mountain. Presumably, they're going to be stuck there for a week until the ski lodge opens up again. And that's basically the entirety of the movie. And so you just follow these three characters on a ski lift for roughly, I'd say an hour or so. Maybe a little bit less, because it's like a 80-90 minute movie, so it might actually be closer to like 45 minutes they're stuck on the ski lift. But it is genuinely very, very frightening. I have never gone skiing before, and I don't ever want to. Just in the chance that this might happen to me. I really think that this movie is sold because of the performances that are in it. Emma Bell, who some people might remember as...
what the fuck?
Oh, yeah?
What's her name? God damn it. Her sister.
In The Walking Dead?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't remember her name, but that one.
Fuck, what is her name?
Yeah, she's that character's sister. She's only in the first season of The Walking Dead, which was unfortunate
Amy.
because...
Oh my god, you know how good that felt?
Amy.
Jesus Christ. Okay, Amy.
Yeah, she was also in Final Destination 5, which is maybe my favorite Final Destination. I really just think that it's awesome. And yeah, she actually hasn't done a whole lot, but like she's been excellent in everything that I've ever seen her in. She's in this, and she literally steals the show. It's her, Shawn Ashmore, and Kevin Zegers, who I remember from the Dawn of the Dead remake and not much else. He's been in other things that I've seen, like Wrong Turn.
The fuck? He's Walmart Zac Efron, dude.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so basically they're stuck on the lift, and you get to watch the whole thing happen. And it's really incredibly well paced. It's like nice and like tight. Like it gets in, it gets out. It doesn't, overstay its welcome. It has some really good character moments with the writing, and for a movie that's set in one location, like literally on a ski lift, there's like a surprising amount of like nuance to the way that the whole situation is shot. There are some really, really good instances of gore. I don't want to ruin how that's set up, but yeah, I mean it's really, really good. If you get a chance to see it, it's on Amazon Prime. It's good shit.
I don't think I've ever in my life ever seen Kane Hodder act outside of Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah, dude. It's only a cameo in here. Well, actually, I think most of the stuff that he is in where he's not Jason that I've seen him in have been little cameo roles. But like Adam Green actually uses him a lot. In Hatchet, he is Hatchet's dad, Victor Crowley's dad. That's his name. Yeah, in this he's like one of the not the ski lift operators, but like he works for the resort. Yeah, it's weird, but yeah, it's fucking cool.
That's cool. Where's it at?
Amazon Prime.
Yuck.
Yeah, I know.
So not the Disney movie.
Not the Disney movie.
That's crazy.
Please don't go in thinking that you'll see the Disney movie, because you will not.
No, just let that go now.
Cool. What else do I got? Because you don't have anything. You've been reading more One Piece, watching more One Piece.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Since Spider-Man's come out, I've not done anything else.
Nothing. Yep, I figured.
I mean, not even. We'll get to it, but
yeah,
I'm not making this up.
Yeah.
Ah, Josh, I did something. I just remembered.
Oh my god!
I watched on the build up, like we were doing the countdown to launch night. Like I stayed up for the midnight release for
nice.
Spider-Man, and in doing that, we timed it so at fucking like 11:50. Our movie would end. We watched Across the Spider-Verse leading up to it for the first time.
Oh shit! The first one? Not the first one. The sequel that came out this year.
Yes.
Oh shit! Hell yeah! How'd you like it?
Holy shit! It was really good, man. Like I very much hate that it ended on the cliffhanger because the shit started to get good. I was like, yeah, but then I was like, wait a minute, I forgot. I completely forgot that shit just kind of dives off a cliff there. But the build up to everything, man, like I'm kind of okay with it ending on the cliffhanger because there's a lot of story to tell, and I'm glad they didn't rush it. And just the build up to the whole Miguel versus Miles thing, and the battle of a 1,000 different Spider-Men on the way out, trying to escape the building and everything. Like, it had such good build up to that moment, to that climax that they were working towards. And I know, it's been, both Austin and you have spoken about it, and I paid little attention so I could pick up as few details as possible. But I do remember both of you saying that you loved it, if not just as much, if not more than the first one, right?
Yeah. Basically, the only knock it gets from me is that it ends on the cliffhanger. Like, yeah. I want to see the completed story.
I do too, very much so. It felt like there was and maybe it's just because I'm such a big fan of Spider-Man, like that I can say that I don't think there's anything in this movie that I want to see cut out to make it shorter. But I also feel like if they made the movie like 30 minutes longer, I feel like they could have told some kind of conclusion, right? Like, yeah. I don't know how this is going to end. Like, I genuinely have no idea. But I'm excited to see how it ends. I'm very curious to see how this stretches out for another potentially, 90-minute, 2-hour movie. Curious. I haven't read anything, so I have no idea if anything's even out now that I think about it, to know where the story goes. I don't know when the next movie comes out, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, I think it was scheduled for early next year, and now it got pushed back because of like the writer strike and everything.
Oh man, okay. Well, that sucks. But dude, I'm telling you, like, aside from the cliffhanger thing, I loved it. It was a lot of fun. I liked how it started and how it started with Gwen and ended with her. At least, like, it felt like there was some conclusivity to her story. Like, I really liked her introduction to this, getting to meet her dad, her essentially running away from the inevitable, and come to find out that the inevitable, it's not what we expected. So I liked that, but I don't know. It seems like they were trying to tell a lot of different stories, and I'm here for it, but it was a lot to keep up with, but I loved every minute of it, and getting to see all of the little just different details, I guess, and seeing dude, a lot of the jokes they were making, I'm not gonna lie, had me dead. Like that moment, I don't remember how it happens, but they're like, get Spider-Man, everyone starts pointing at each other. You know what I mean? Like, I was fucking dying.
That was great.
It had a lot of great moments, man, and it never lost its pace for me. I remember making the most giddy little noise when I think it's Peter B. Parker with Mayday comes out. I don't think I remember Mayday being a part of this movie. Like, I don't recall that, but I got super excited when I saw him. And then at the end there, like, I don't know if this is spoilers. At the end there, how Gwen kind of shows up outside of his window, and just how she kind of started this adventure. I feel, you know what I'm saying? It all came back to her. Like, she started this adventure at the end of Into the Spider-Verse, because she was the last voice we heard, like how Miles is sitting in his bed, and then that warp appears above his head, and she says, hey, or whatever she says there. But then at the end of this movie, here she is again, but this time she's visiting Peter, and it's like, hey, let's go get him type of thing. Like, I love it so much. So I'm excited, dude. I understand the writer's strike and everything, and I hope we get it soon, but let him cook, because this was a really good movie.
Yeah. I was genuinely very, very blown away by it.
I can't believe I forgot about that shit, dude.
Given that Spider-Man 2 has come out, I think it's understandable.
Yeah,
like,
for
that's
real.
Kind of taken all of my time away.
I'm not kidding. When the movie ended, we were closing up shop within the bedroom and moving out into where we were about to play Spider-Man. Like, it was perfect. And then I just forgot about it.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I also watched Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight. I am not 100% sure if you're aware of this or not, but Tales from the Crypt was like that 90s TV show that was on HBO. Little Ugly Man, yeah. And interesting. Okay, never mind. I was going to look up. So they started to branch out near the end of that TV series run, and weirdly enough, it ran from like 89 to it ran for like 8 seasons. I think it ran through like 1996 or something like that. And towards the end of its run, it started doing some things like the movie I'm about to talk about, Demon Knight. So this movie was the first in, I think, a series of 3. Bordello of Blood was another one. I can't remember the other one off the top of my head, but this movie is basically like a hour-and-a-half long episode of Tales from the Crypt. And I kind of fucking love it. I really just think that the series as a whole is a blast, and this is like everything that is good about the series distilled into like a nice, tight, like 90-minute movie. I think even with credits, it's at like 92 minutes, something like that. But yeah, it's just a total blast. I've seen it, or up until recently, I had kind of seen it in bits and pieces, like throughout the years, and every single time like it had come on, I was like, I'm gonna watch this because this is just it's such a fun movie. And then this is my first time like watching it all the way through in probably 10 years. And I was just kind of blown away by just how well constructed it is. Like, it is full of like little things in the writing that like I was kind of amazed by. Like, there are little setups and payoffs for like jokes and for like little like character beats and stuff. Like, at the very very beginning of the movie, the main character, what the fuck is his name? Frank, maybe? I think that's right. He is about to steal a car from a gas station, and this kid sees him. And then later in the movie, the kid is found out, or like found in the little like I forget what you would call it. Like, it's like a little hotel that was formerly a church or something. Basically, that's where they're holding out for the entire time. And they find the kid hanging out in like this passageway that they thought was going to lead them out of the church, and blah 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 blah. Anyway, at the end of the movie, or like at the beginning of the movie, the kid sells the guy out, and at the end of the movie, the kid is actually the reason that the main guy ends up dying. So there are like little bits, stuff like that you see built up in like little segments here and there, and then they end up ultimately paying off in really interesting ways. The movie looks beautiful. Like, there's tons of like really nice blue light, and even like the kind of dated sort of looking visual effects, I still kind of find charm in them, because it wasn't like a gigantic budget movie. It was just like I said, kind of like a same, or like an hour and a half long episode of Tales from the Crypt. All of that stuff looks really good. The acting's pretty on point. Billy Zane steals the show. He's having an absolute fucking blast in that movie, and you can tell, and I loved it. Not to mention, Billy Zane was a beautiful man. I haven't seen him recently, but yeah, I think Billy Zane is very good looking. Yeah, I mean, fun time.
I don't know
really good time.
When the picture that was taken that I'm looking at now was, but he still looks good.
Oh, okay.
Goddamn. I remember growing up and being absolutely terrified of this motherfucker.
Oh, Tales from the Crypt?
Yes.
Or the Crypt Keeper?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
same.
Don't know how, but I just stumbled upon my dad watching it one day, and I remember walking in super excited to show him something, and then happening to look at the TV and then seeing that, and it's like just stuck in my mind, because I remember being like, oh, no, I wasn't supposed to see that. And it just fucking haunted me forever. And whenever I went into like a Blockbuster or something like that, and I would see the fucking Crypt Keeper on like the box art of the VHS shits, I would have the most uncomfortable feeling, man. I don't know. I can look at him now, so that's good. At least that's not been suppressed this whole time. But I don't know, dude. He just gave me the most uneasy feeling. Yeah, and I remember this one in particular.
Yeah, he was a source of terror for me in my young age. Me. So that's fun.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Go watch it. It's on HBO Max, I think. Or if it's not HBO Max, it's on Peacock. And it's a lot of fun. Knock Knock, another one I watched. I'm not going to spend too much.
Said who's there?
God, I hate you.
I'm not even going to lie to you. If I wouldn't have read the doc and you wouldn't have kept talking, I was about to say who's there. Felt like an idiot. I didn't even read that you were about to talk about it.
Yeah. This is a movie starring Keanu Reeves. I'm gonna keep this short and simple because I fucking hated this movie.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, this was on the horror list, and I was, I remember thinking about this movie when it first came out and being like, oh yeah, this is exciting because it was a couple of people that I really loved. Like Keanu Reeves is the lead in this, and Eli Roth was the one who directed it, and watching this, I am not sure whether my love for Eli Roth was because those movies that I really enjoyed were any good, or if they just kind of appealed to my sort of like edgy sensibilities as a 17, 18, 19-year-old. Kind of knowing the premise of this movie, something that's like very apparent from the trailer, which I kind of knew going in. I had seen the trailer, and again, I was excited about it, and I just never got around to it. This movie is a total fucking waste of time. You can guess exactly where it's going 5 to 10 minutes in. Like literally everything from the really, really ham-fisted themes that it's going for. Like, it's going for like this morality play about like, even the good guys really aren't all that good type thing. It's awful. Everything is played so over the top. Like, you go in to the first act and it's like, okay, I see where it's going. It's setting everything up. Okay, like I'll give it, whatever. And then you get into like the second act about like, 30 minutes in, and it's just like, what the fuck is this? Like, everything becomes like really heightened, and like everyone's playing everything overly broad. Like, Ana de Armas is in this, and I was just like, dude, she's kind of shit in this, isn't she? Like, she's really not that great. Lorena Izzo, I think is her name. I've liked her in other things, and she's almost just as bad. Keanu Reeves really goes for the fences in a sort of like Nick Cage kind of way, and it doesn't work. I don't know. The worst part about all of it is it's not even entertaining. Like, I could forgive it being bad as long as it's entertaining. Like, you watch The Room, and like, that's a bad movie, but it's like so bad that it's entertaining. It kind of comes back to where it's so bad that it's good. And this just isn't even good or like entertaining. Yeah, I was not a fan. I was really, really not a fan, which is unfortunate given, the talent. But yeah, don't watch it. Don't watch it. It's not good.
But you know what is good?
What is good is fucking Saw X.
The porn parody.
Yes. I don't want to give anything too much away because it's still in theaters, and some people might be waiting to see it for Halloween and stuff. But dude, I fucking love Saw X. It is a true return to form for the series in a way that I haven't seen in a very, very long time. This series is I really like the first movie, and 2 is okay. I actually really kind of like the third movie a lot.
I was gonna say the third movie is where I stopped, and to that point, I can say the Saw franchise is one of my favorites. But yes. I have no idea what happens after that, but I've not heard good things.
Yeah, so two is kind of meh, in my opinion. I know a lot of people love 2, but like I like 3.
Yeah,
right?
3 I loved.
4, feels like it's starting to run its course, and then 5 and 6 were so bad that I just dropped off completely.
Oh, okay.
I watched. No, actually, I don't even know if I've watched 6 all the way through. I think I've watched parts of it. I didn't even bother with 7. And the last one that I remember seeing was Spiral, the Chris Rock one, which I'm not sure if it counts as part of this franchise because it's like a weird side continuity. But like I had literally checked out because there was nothing going on as far as like story is concerned or like characters or like any of that stuff. It was all just special effects showcases with like throwing the most bare bones plot together to try to string these things along. And Spiral came, was a complete waste of my fucking time. And I was straight up not excited for this. And then I saw early reviews coming out and I was like, okay, maybe I'll give it a shot. You know, I used to like the Saw movies, maybe I'll give it a shot. And then a friend of mine saw it and they were like, dude, this is the best one in the franchise. And I was like, what? Like, there's no fucking way. Like,
Whoa.
Saw 1 for me is like a really high tier horror movie. I don't know how anything surpasses that. And I don't think that this is the best in the franchise, but it's the best in the franchise since 1.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So
That's crazy.
It really comes back to me for these movies. Like, I remember very distinctly the first one having a really strong story and really strong characters and building everything out around that. Like, yeah, there was like little interspersed things with traps and stuff like that, but it was more of like a mystery movie with like a really strong like morality play. This one, I think, really gets back to that and has some really strong themes. Like, this is a very angry movie. It is very, very much a condemnation of the American health system and the insurance industry, I feel like. At least that's the way I read it. But there's like really good, like meaty stuff to kind of like sink your teeth into. Like, one of the things in this movie is like, we all kind of know that like, Jigsaw has like this twisted sense of morality, where he thinks what he's doing is right. And then like, there's an,
Because it is right.
like, oh my God. There's several instances in this movie, one very specifically towards the end, that I was like, it was almost like a, if his sense of morality is what he thinks is correct and stuff, what happens when you kind of twist it just a little bit, where like maybe an innocent person is in his thing. And it sort of questioned the integrity of Jigsaw as a character. And I was like, oh, this is really good. This is really like, it's way deeper than I thought. That said, it does kind of like that one in particular does not really go anywhere, which was a little bit unfortunate. And I do think that like there are certain plot contrivances that like just I don't know, like I feel like it could have been better written, and also given the plot, I do also feel like some of the traps are just a little bit too elaborate for what this story is going for. I really like the old, like the first one is like you're literally just locked in a room. You have to chop off your leg, right? You know, or like, I know everyone loves like the bear trap thing, but like the bear trap is like the least interesting one to me from that first movie. Like the thing that got me about the second one was like the falling into the pit of needles, you know? The third one, I love the rack, but like the one that was most disturbing to me was like the woman freezing to death, like, I don't know, the more simple traps were the ones that like I kind of like gravitated towards and thought were like had more weight to them. And I feel like this one still kind of tends towards the more elaborate stuff that was going on in like 4, 5, and 6. Even with those like gripes aside, like this movie fucking rules. It is awesome. And it's my favorite Saw since the first one. Really good stuff.
That's fucking exciting, dude.
Yeah,
But it means I have to watch all of them.
No, it doesn't. You can skip 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
And genuinely, because it takes place between 1 and 2. You can watch this movie without having any sort of, I guess, knowledge or anything of anything that comes after that. Like you don't even really have to know what happens in 2, but it helps. Like it helps give you kind of some of the foresight of things. Yeah, it's good, man. I really dig it.
Let's go.
Let's Go Pikachu is a movie, I think, right? Nope, it's a video game.
Yep. It's okay.
I like Pokemon sometimes.
You do.
Well, why don't you tee us off with the big news that we were going to discuss? Because
Yes.
there's some big stuff in there.
There really is. The big news is that Jeff has found a new spot. I'm joking. I'm joking. Big news is that Microsoft sealed the deal. They locked the bag. They secured it. We have Activision Blizzard King in our slimy little hands, dude. And I'm excited. Are you excited? Because I'm excited. I'm excited for selfish reasons.
Okay.
I'm excited because with this, I hope to hear the word Spyro coming out of someone's fucking mouth sometime soon.
Yeah.
This.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is my biggest hope, is that franchises that we've not seen in a long time get a little bit of a rebirth. And hopefully I just think there's some that are played out, and hopefully now, am I being too optimistic? Am I being like Phil Spencer is a god, he's going to give me all the things I ever wanted? Am I being too much like that? Am I a fanboy? I don't think I'm a fanboy. I think Sony won this year with Spider-Man.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I understand your optimism. I'll say that.
My hope.
Yeah, your hope. Yeah. Because I think, really, for me, I've been on the everyone gives PlayStation too much credit bus for quite some time.
Oh yeah, fuck their subscription prices.
Yeah, going up like in some cases like
reason.
40% or some shit like that.
For no reason, you stupid fucks.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not good. Canceled my subscription, by the way. Like,
really?
I will eventually cave, but I'm going to protest for a little bit.
Well, yeah.
There's no sense in it, because out of the two, and I mean, just circling back to it, I use Game Pass way more than I use PlayStation for their stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's not great.
And it's just expensive, man. Like, because I usually subscribe for the year. If I can't subscribe for the year, then I'll do 3 months. I never do 1 month. And I pay that mid-tier. What is that one? Is that extra?
Yeah, I think that's the extra. I know it's not, like, the Essentials is the first tier.
Yeah.
I think Extra is the second one, and then the, I don't know what the third one's called, but that's the one I subscribed to, because I wanted the classic selection.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
I have no interest. So, yeah, you're paying the bucks.
Yeah. luckily, before it was announced, I had already paid for the year, so I don't have to worry about the updated prices until what was it? I think July next year is when my subscription kind of runs out.
Yeah, because mine was expiring, and I was like, we won't be renewing that. Now, once the year is over and I want to go back to some stuff that I do have interest on there, then sure. But as of right now, Game Pass is fucking slaying.
Yeah. The value there is genuinely insane.
It is.
Like, in comparison to what you get with PlayStation. Like, I know that a lot of people have taken to the, like, using the, not the free games, but like the, whatever you want to call them. The ones that they give you for, like,
the monthly?
The sort of Game Pass. Yeah, exactly. The Game Pass, like, thing that they've got going on. I know people are like, oh, well, you know, that's a good value. In comparison to Game Pass, I don't think that it is.
No, but you know why? Because when, let me use an example real quick. Oh, fuck, I mean, this is as good as I can get right now because I can't think. When Forza Horizon 5 dropped, I could play it on day one without having to pay anything extra. But when Spider-Man 2 dropped, I had to go pay $70 on top. Actually, that's not true. Sabrina bought it for me because she's a delight, and she bought me the deluxe edition. But someone had to spend extra money because it's not available on PlayStation, whatever the fuck. If it was, I would pay the increased price probably, with little complaint. Game Pass still way better value, but I would probably be more willing to pay it on the PlayStation side if they said, "Hey, here's Spider-Man," or whatever else came out this year, Ratchet and Clank a couple years ago. What else fucking did Sony do this year?
Yeah.
What did they do? That's actually a genuine question. Didn't they? Oh, Final Fantasy. There we go. Sorry. That really
did they do Final Fantasy?
I'm sorry.
Well, let's be honest.
Game of Thrones simulator.
Yeah. I think, like, I understand. For consumers, I think that the value is indefinitely in the favor of Xbox. Game Pass is just a gigantic value for me. Like, it's, I don't know.
It's incredible, man. I have found so many fantastic indie games through Game Pass that I would maybe never get a chance to experience anywhere else that have become some of my favorite games. I mean, it's just incredible what they do with Game Pass. But going back to what I said, I mean, it's like I feel like they can use this giant acquisition to breathe fresh air back into things that are expired. Like, dude, Toys for Bob does not need to be a Call of Duty fucking sub company. Are you kidding me? Like, Toys for Bob did great with what they did with the Reignited trilogy, and if they were allowed to take on a Spyro 4, it would be magical, so long as they're not stupid and try to change it like Crash, or even Year of the Dragonfly, I think, was the fourth Spyro game.
Yeah.
I did not like that. Maybe. It was one of them. It was bad. I don't like it. But also, I know this is a pipe dream, and I don't know. I think I'm like one of the 4 people who actually want it to come back. But Guitar Hero, I mean, come on. Right?
No.
Guitar Heroes. It'll come back, right, Josh? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you could have one thing that you've not had come back from any one of these companies, what would it be?
Well, so this is something that Justin actually asked on his LinkedIn the other day. Skyrise Excellence.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He asked on his LinkedIn the other day something about the... let me see if I can find it real quick. He asked if the dormant or underutilized IP from Activision Blizzard could be re-engaged, released on Game Pass, and drive subscriber growth for the platform. And then he asked about remasters or new takes on old IP. And my thought was, I said this, I'm not sure that like the back catalog of Activision Blizzard actually lends too much to any sort of revivals or anything like that, given the modern landscape. Because you think about games that like Activision or Activision was Intellivision and something else. Anyway, like Pitfall, for instance.
Shit.
Like, who's trying to get Pitfall in 2024, 2025?
Okay, and I agree with that. But would you see them being like, hey, let's take the Pitfall name and turn it into some kind of Uncharted nonsense?
I mean, yeah, that could be totally cool. Like, I would love for them to do stuff like that. I just don't think that, like I said, in 2024, or 2025, 2026, whatever. I don't think that they are going to do that. Like, I would love for them to make another Tony Hawk game. Give me Tony Hawk running in the same way that remaster collection did. Perfect. I would buy it in a fucking heartbeat. But given where we are in the landscape of gaming right now, I see a sort of utilizing Activision Blizzard for
I mean, it's a cash cow. They're going to pump out
COD. Yeah, right?
What they know makes money. But I feel like also right now, not only in gaming, but in music and in film, we're on a huge, big, gigantic, colossal, fucking annoying nostalgia kick with it seems like we're rehashing old franchises instead of creating new IPs across fucking everything, if I'm being real. So that is where I turn, because I feel like you're 100% right. They're going to pump out all of their big cash cow shit. But I think with the backing from Microsoft now, they also have the power to be like, hey, let's also get this nostalgia train kicking in too. I'm not going to say Pitfall, and I'm not going to say Spyro or Guitar Hero. It could be one of those other names that I've forgotten about. Until you said Pitfall, I was like, holy shit, I forgot they had that. That blew my mind. But they do, and that's kind of how I see. Again, everyone makes the joke money soft, but it's fucking accurate, man. They're gonna cash in on as many facets as they can to make this deal make sense, and I think they will dig up old franchises. Like, I mean, fucking Pitfall's a great example, dude. I can't believe I didn't think of that. I kept, honing in on Spyro, but yeah, I think that's where it's going to go. And then I think, imagine what we do see from those old and dilapidated franchises. Like, we could see them come to Game Pass, like they were saying, or, whomever was saying. That's going to be a lot of fun, and maybe that can get the interest sparked by introducing the older titles through Game Pass for people to play. They could also see what people are playing and use that to kind of funnel that nostalgia train that I was talking about.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely something that I would love for them to do. I would love for Activision to have some sort of like rare replay type thing, like where they just utilize Game Pass to bring back old games that like everyone and their mother used to play back in the 70s, 80s, and utilize that to fill out the extra value of Game Pass. The problem I see is maybe not necessarily with doing something like that, which I do think has its own issues. Like, I don't know, maybe this is unique to like Japanese companies, but like you look at a company like Square, and they had a remaster Kingdom Hearts and build it basically from scratch because they had lost the the source code.
Yeah.
Which, like, that game came out in like 2001. How did you lose the source code? You know what I mean? Like
It was in the Twin Towers.
maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be the only way that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like, you know, when you think about that in comparison to the stuff that was happening with like Activision and Intellivision and all the stuff that they own, that stuff was in the like late 70s, early 80s, you know? So like if they have that source code, like, okay, but if they don't, like, how are you going to revitalize these old franchises, you know?
Makes sense too. I mean, I don't think anyone's hanging on to some Pitfall data.
Right?
But with an IP like that, you don't need it, though, do you? Because what are you going to do? Make a 2D fucking 8-bit side-scrolling, jumping over some pit type of game? Or are you going to do what I said and make some Tomb Raider Uncharted-esque, you know, revitalized game? For stuff like that, yeah. But then, you know, my biggest thing is I don't know why. And I swear to God, it's the last time I'll talk about it this podcast. I want a Guitar Hero Collection remaster. Like, I want some, like, greatest hits that I can just sit back and fucking play until I'm blue in the face, dude. I want that so badly. And it's like, I see your point there. It's like, I mean, they have to still have fucking Guitar Hero 3 source code. They have to. It's fucking everywhere, right? Like, people are playing that shit on TikTok and shit from, God, what's the fucking word? Like emulators and shit. And then I guess if you have the discs and stuff. So I guess it only makes sense when you go beyond that, right? When you go, like, I guess to those IPs that have just completely fallen off the face of the... I just ripped one of my keyboard keys off. That's not good.
Oh, God.
It's fine. I don't actually know how that happened. I fidget a lot, and I don't know where my hands are half the time. I'm going to be real with you. And then that happened, and I forgot what I was saying. ADHD. It's not good.
Yeah, you should probably get that looked at.
I did, and you want to hear the irony? I went, and I got diagnosed, and they were like, yeah, you got it. You need to go to a psychiatrist to get your meds. I was like, okay. I've never been to a psychiatrist after that. That's ADHD for you. Yep.
Well, I mean...
What the fuck was I talking? This is what I'm saying. It's not good. It's not good. I'm right now.
I believe you were asking me whether or not, you know, they could utilize old IP and
oh, yeah, we're talking about old IP. So I guess that's like when that concept comes into play, right? Like, you have to go to these forgotten franchises to have that worry, like, who's hanging on to Pitfall and shit like that.
Yeah.
What are some other... Did you look at any other, like, distant, ancient, forgotten IPs from Activision? Because that one hit me, man.
Yeah, so I looked into some as best as I could, but like a lot of the stuff I actually wasn't even really all that familiar with. Okay. And the stuff that I was like stuff like Spider-Man, but like Spider-Man is owned by Sony now. Like Sony has the official license for Spider-Man. Yeah. So like a lot of the stuff that I saw like listed was like old like licensed stuff, and I don't know that
so
stuff...
when you say old licensed, are we talking like Ultimate Alliance from Raven Software? Like how Marvel's Ultimate... Okay. Because first off, that game is underrated to me. No one talks about that game as much as they should.
Ultimate Alliance?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, please. Okay. I thought you were about to just shit on it. I love it, and maybe I'm looking through those, nostalgia glasses like I was just talking about, but that shit was awesome. But that's what you're talking about, right? Like those old licensed games, even like the Bond games and stuff like that.
Yeah. Like they used to do the Transformers games, if I'm not mistaken, and then like I said, they had the Spider-Man license for a very long time. I'm trying to think of all the things that they had, but like a lot of the stuff, like I said, that I noticed that they had was like stuff that like I 100% don't think that they have like access to anymore. I just don't think that it's something that they can utilize in modern times, I should say. That's the best way to describe it, I guess.
So, wait, didn't they do... What's that game Austin always talks about? The fucking Venom game that's not Venom.
Prototype?
Thank you. Didn't they make that shit too? Or is that someone else?
I think that was someone else.
Oh, fuck. Alright, I was going to get hopeful for him for a second.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I think that
I think
that's...
that.
I could be wrong.
I'm looking it up. Activision published it. Radical developed it.
Okay.
What the fuck is Radical done? I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, I haven't heard that name in literally ages.
Oh. Oh. Apparently they made Crash of the Titans, so yeah, they're shit.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. Anyway. Close out all those tabs that are useless. But
yeah, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Aside from like the ability to potentially have old stuff like a Spyro or a Crash or something like that, besides the ability to have that back, is there anything that you think Microsoft could do with the IP that would be interesting? Because to me, the only thing modern that Activision Blizzard has going on for is they have WoW, Diablo, and COD, and I to a lesser extent Overwatch. I feel like the rose is really kind of like come off the bloom or whatever that saying is.
Yeah, they just need to take that shit out back and shoot it. At this point, I'm pretty fucking over it. If you're talking about Overwatch, are you talking about Overwatch?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, yeah, because they're trash. If I think that they're gonna do anything now, I see like something new. I see them going mobile. I don't.
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I think that this was maybe a play for King, and more than it was like anything else.
Yeah, and I think I've said this recently somewhere. I want to be a person who can sit down and invest time into a mobile game, and just kind of have. I don't know if it's a luxury or a curse, but as a gamer, it seems like a luxury that when I put down the controller and I'm just relaxing and I'm on the go, I can also just flip open my phone and play something that I'm addicted to. I don't have that, and I've not had that since Clash Royale. I think if Supercell makes a game, I'll play the shit out of it, at least for a little while. Like I did that with Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, Brawl Stars. But outside of that, man, I can't really invest into a mobile game. So I think that's where I think if you're that kind of person, you're already there. Like I'm pretty sure Justin is enamored with Marvel. Is it Marvel Snap?
Yeah, I'm not sure that he plays that anymore, to be honest with you. But
if
yeah,
he isn't now, then he was.
He was, yeah.
And if it's not that now, then I'm assuming he was playing Star Rail on mobile before it came to PS5. I guess it could have been PC. I don't know where he was playing that.
No, I think he was playing it on mobile.
Okay. So, people like Justin already exist who can pick up and play a mobile game. I think what Microsoft can hopefully gain from this is reaching out to the players who haven't been touched yet. Like, what can Microsoft... I think to the day I die, I'll always be an Xbox over everything else kind of person. Just because that's where I've spent most of my adolescence. I'm not going to say childhood, but most of my adolescence. 15 through now. They have a really... I'm trying to think of how to put this. They have a way to reach people, I think, in terms of their fan base. Like, I know they can create something that I would want to play. You know what I mean? I'm a big fan of Gems of War and Puzzle Quest.
Yeah.
I love both of those games so much. And even if Microsoft could use King to give me this Candy Crush type game and pair it with like this puzzle quest. I don't know. And I'm not trying to just create games that are only suited for me, but I'm just saying that there's ways that I think they can do it in terms of mobile, and I think that's where they have to apply a lot of resources, I guess, to get your investment back. Like they're going to make money from this regardless. Like I mean,
oh yeah,
it's just gonna flow in at this point.
I think COD is going to drive a bunch of subscriptions to Game Pass. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, truly. And who knows what they'll do. If they did something with World of Warcraft where I did not have to pay shit anymore.
That's literally what I was just about to ask you.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's over, dude. Like that, there's ways to drive that, but I think how to go further is to pour some shit into mobile, because more and more people are picking it up, but now you have to hit the people who haven't been able to like find a connection. Do you play mobile games?
Yes and no. The stuff that I play is like, I don't want to say generic stuff, but it's like I've been playing Sudoku on my phone recently. Like, okay, I just really love Sudoku.
If I'm going to sit down and play a game that's going to sound stupid as shit, I'll play Wordscapes.
Yeah. Wordscapes is fucking great, man.
Yeah, but that's what I'm playing. I'm not playing some action-based game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I do like Puzzle Quest because it's action-based with me just matching tiles.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I'm sure there's a game out there for me that would hit everything that I'm saying, but I've not found it. Or if I found it, I'm bored of it, or I've already played it. This is where they need to hit their lightning in a bottle. I think they need to find out how to grab players like you and me, who don't dude, fucking let me hook up some achievements on my mobile device and I'll do it, man. Like just find a way to drive me to play some games on my phone when I'm not at home, maybe when I'm pooping or something.
Yeah, I think if they gave me a reason to play mobile games, I think that I would. 100%. Because I just don't have the option to sit and invest time in like gigantic like RPGs and stuff like that anymore, where I have to spend 30, 40, 50, 60 hours on something. But I have the time when I'm like you said, I'm in the bathroom or something. Like, I can spend 10, 15 minutes on a game. Well, maybe not that long, but...
And is it possible for the... And I think it's possible, but they have to first have the catalog, and it's to have a mobile Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to give me the Candy Crushes and whatever else you make from this point going forward, and then let me download those games to my phone. Let me earn achievements that can rack up to my score.
Yeah.
When I look at my game list, I need to be able to see that I've played Forza Horizon 5 and, Forza Motorsport, and I've got achievements. But then the next game up could be, Doodle Jumper, and it can say mobile next to it or something, and that's where I got these achievements from. Just give me something. And I think they're perfect. I think they know that. It's inevitable. At this point, they're not stupid. They know how to. People were talking about this 2 years ago in their team, probably. But I don't know. I think that's their biggest opportunity, because, like you said, I guess I said it, but the money's gonna flow from COD. It's gonna drive subscription services. Who knows what they do with World of Warcraft, or they have untapped potential with Blizzard too. Fucking bring back StarCraft. I'm not a StarCraft person, but I know half the world is. So, bring that shit back. Not Heroes of the Storm, but Hearthstone. Like, there's so much that you can do with all of these games, and they have hit the jackpot, and they need to slow their roll for a while and start making some games.
Yeah. I think my big I think question is maybe, do you think that the more subscription based games that they have going on could be a catalyst for getting more people into Game Pass? With like just for instance, WoW. So like if WoW no longer had a subscription, you still had to buy the expansions or whatever, but like say it no longer had a subscription tied to it with Game Pass. Do you think that would be more of a boon for people to maybe try it out that have not had a chance to try it out?
I think not only would it be more welcoming to new players, but it would also, I mean, it has a lot of doors it can open. It has that one, and then it has people like Austin who tried and downloaded the game and they're like, yeah, I could do this if it wasn't for the subscription service. You lose that, and then players like him come back. But then you have players like myself, players who buy the new expansion, but after I play for a month or two, it's hard for me to financially justify continuing to come back and play the game. Or I'm not really playing the game, I should say. After a couple of months, I'm moving away, or not even playing at all. But then I'll see like a fucking pending charge from Blizzard saying, subscription is coming out, and I'm like, oh shit, forgot about that. Damn it, cancel, so it doesn't happen again. But what would be great for me as a player would be to not have to worry about the subscription cost ever, and I can just play whenever I want to. I'm going to buy the expansions. I'm probably going to buy the deluxe expansion for World of Warcraft, knowing me, because it comes with a mount.
Oh my god.
But I think it really, there's no downside to doing it. You're going to welcome in new players. You're going to bring in the ones who are deterred by the subscription cost, and you're going to I don't know, I guess kind of bridge the gap for players like me, I think, who want to have access to it all the time but can't justify paying X amount of money per month or every 3 months just to play for once or twice a month. Like, I never want to have to worry about that. So there's a lot good they can do with it, and I think that transitions into fucking everything they have going on, man. Like, I don't... You think Call of Duty... Why do you think they put Call of Duty in one hub?
In one what?
In one, like, hub. Like, I don't know if you've seen it, but everything Call of Duty seems to be under one hub now. And my thought is it going to be, like... Let me make sure I'm not a fucking idiot, because if I'm not mistaken, you just go download Call of Duty now, do you not?
So are you talking about on the Xbox itself?
Xbox, now even on like Steam. When I look at Call of Duty, I have to download Call of Duty itself. I don't download Modern Warfare 3. Because within this Call of Duty hub, I have access to Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 2, whatever.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So I'm asking this because does Call of Duty become a subscription-based service instead of a reoccurring $70 fee every year?
Yeah, I think that's probably the way that it's headed, to be honest with you.
Yeah, or it's just in Game Pass and then you buy, the microtransactions. I don't know. But when I saw that they did that, because I was looking at Modern Warfare, I kept saying Modern Warfare. Is it 2 or 3 that's out right now?
2 is the one that's out. 3 will be out in
the new one, right?
A week or two, right?
Yes. So like when I saw that it was all merged into this one thing, especially with Warzone, I'm like, something's weird, man. Because why would they do that? And I don't keep up with it. Maybe there's an answer for this. I don't know. But when I saw that, I was like, they're going to make this just a reoccurring thing. Call of Duty is going to be a live service. Like, it just updates like Destiny 2 does at this point. It's just going to be a new expansion every year. Pay like 15, 20, 30, 40 bucks. I don't know. But I feel like we're losing the days of big releases for them. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's in the same regard of World of Warcraft, where I was going with this is it's going to be on Game Pass if they do that for Call of Duty, whereas everyone else, because Call of Duty is staying, right, on all the other consoles. So
yeah, at least for now. I think
Yeah.
they reached a 10-year agreement, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So those guys have to pay for theirs. But if you want to get the Game Pass, well, you don't got to pay for that. I don't know. Just my thought, my head canon right now. That's where I see that going. I don't know how it works. I don't know logistics. I'm not a brilliant man within the biz. I just have my conspiracy theories. I'm Dylan Jones.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that you're right. I think that because honestly, this is where I see a lot of this stuff going, and I know that this has come as a sort of like doomer, sort of like very pessimistic look. But I think that the realistic lens through which we should view this is that Microsoft wants to make some money through their subscription services, and in order for them to do that, they need to do something where basically the game is already built. You're paying Game Pass to then get like free add-ons for that game. You know what I mean? For instance, World of Warcraft was built in 2003, right? Like that's the year that it came out. So all that technology is there, and the game still fundamentally is the same game that came out in 2003.
Yep.
There are some changes, obviously. Like they've kind of done little things where they update the graphics. They've changed like gameplay mechanics. They've added new gameplay mechanics, stuff like that. But fundamentally, the game is still WoW. And I think that in order for Game Pass to continue in its current existence, where you still get those smaller experiences with interesting things from like Compulsion Games or Hellblade that's coming out with Ninja Theory. In order to get those smaller experiences that no one's really going to pay for, you need to have some sort of recurring revenue. And by making COD go the way of WoW, where it's like, well, COD is going to be free. We're not really going to do anything new to it, but we'll update this next year and you'll pay us $20 for it. I think that's the way that I see COD going for them, and I think that a lot of games in their stable, Gears for instance, Halo for instance, I think probably Forza for instance, I think all these games kind of go this route where you are getting the game on Game Pass, paying $20, $30, $40 for a new expansion every year that gets you new stuff alongside your Game Pass subscription. So you're paying roughly what's it up to now? I know it's not 15 anymore for Ultimate. I think it's like 17 now. Maybe. But you're paying your $17 a month for Game Pass Ultimate. So that's coming in, and then if they release one update for these games a year, and obviously not everyone is going to be like this, but let's just say that you're a person who plays, all four of those games, then you have a $20, $30, $40 subscription, or not subscription, but like yearly thing coming from that one person. So $17 a month plus your roughly, $160, I think that's the route I see them taking with a bunch of stuff from this catalog. Again, that's maybe doomer speak of me, but I don't see fundamentally the revenue or profitability of Game Pass being something where they can afford a Activision Blizzard and not afford to do that with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. They have a lot of options.
Truly. Yeah, they do. They do for sure. And I think that they would be very smart to go the route that you're talking about. And I would think that like it would be a very good idea for them to get somebody to work on Spyro. I think that like doing a Spyro game every like 3 to 4 years on Game Pass for children is a good idea. I'm just not sure that the subscription model bears it out to where Game Pass can be profitable for them.
Regardless.
But what do I know?
I mean,
I'm not an industry analyst.
You know,
as much as I'd like to be.
No, I hear it's terrible.
Yeah, never mind. You're right. I don't want to do that.
No, be happier and just go work in a factory.
No, I don't want to do that.
Why? Anyway, good job, Microsoft.
Anyway, yeah, good job for closing the deal. You know,
Seal in the bag, giving me another prediction right, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Although I could be wrong.
I don't know. I've only been right with that one so far, I think, so. That's not true. I think I said something about a spin-off for Pokemon.
You probably did. Speaking of spin-offs of Pokemon,
what?
I'm just fucking around.
Okay, because if you're about to tell me that your game that you've been playing was a spin-off and Austin didn't tell me that shit,
yeah,
I'd be
no.
real mad.
I've been playing Voice of Cards, and then we'll get to Spider-Man.
But I've been playing for you.
Yes. I haven't gotten incredibly far. It's not something that like I'm dumping like all of my time into. But it is something that I am playing here and there whenever I can. I think that that's about to go out the window, if I'm being totally honest. I think that I'm about to be playing a lot of Alan Wake, and I'm currently playing a lot of Spider-Man. So I'm not incredibly sure that I'm going to have this finished in time for the challenge to be done. I still need to play Tawny's game too, man. Shit.
That's wild if we fucking lose this because... Hold on. What were the rules? I could veto out our game, but not the boys' games.
I think that's right, yeah.
So tell Austin to give you a better game.
Well, so, okay, but the thing with this is that it's relatively quick, and I don't think it's bad. Like, so it's basically D&D, the card game. It's basically like
Escape.
Yeah, but with cards.
Yeah.
So basically you have like a little deck that you kind of, I don't want to say build, but like you have a, you have a deck of cards, and this deck of cards allows you to kind of like perform actions and, has like a lot of interesting, I don't know how to describe it. Like, basically, you have, like, a bunch of characters, and those characters are cards. And the way that, like, the game is designed is you have, like, a sort of, like, little, like, layout in front of you that is, like, basically your dungeon. And then within that dungeon, you have the ability to kind of select your path. And within that path, you'll find things such as, like, enemies or treasure chests and stuff like that. And it's interesting because you do get to make choices, and there are kind of like character beats that kind of mirror things from like old school Final Fantasy. Like, you don't get to choose your characters, and the story is written, so you don't have as much control over it as you would in like a standard D&D game. But it's kind of in that vein. The artwork on the cards is really good, and I think that the writing for this stuff is pretty solid. I don't think that a lot of people should play this game. I think that it's very niche, and I think that like it's specifically for the people who are into this sort of thing. And if you're not into this sort of thing, I don't think that like it's something that like you should even remotely spend any time considering. But I do think it's a lot of it's got a lot of like really cool potential, and yeah, I am enjoying my time with it. I don't know. I don't know that Austin would like it, because I think the reason he told me to play it was because it was something that he wanted to play. I don't know that it's something he would enjoy, but I'm enjoying the little bit of time that I've spent with it. It's not a bad game.
Is this the one he played the demo of and enjoyed, or was there a different card game that had a demo?
I mean, it's possible that it was this.
I have no idea. I think he liked the concept of this at least, but maybe it's... So how long, in theory, would the game actually take you to beat?
Well, according to how long to beat, it is a 10 to 15 hour game, 20 hour for the platinum. So it's not very long, and if I'm not mistaken, there's a trilogy of these games that you could theoretically beat or like platinum all three of them in the same amount of time it would take you to finish like a single act in Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
Yeah, so
well, I mean, that's still... So do you think you'll finish it, or do you think we'll have to throw that veto power in?
I think I mean, unless he has something that's going to take like...
He's going to give you some online Gundam game that can't be beaten.
Right? Unless he has something that could be beaten in like a handful of hours.
Oh, Josh. I have just had a heart attack.
Oh,
I
yeah?
didn't beat Final Fantasy 16, and I don't plan on it. And that was your game for me.
Oh, boy.
I need you to pick fucking Fruit Bat Simulator or some shit for me to go fucking beat in an hour. Josh, can you just pick a game that I'm already playing?
Baldur's Gate 3.
Like, no! No! You picked Mirage!
I'm just fucking around.
The dread. Dude,
Oh
I'm
my
on
God.
Prozac, and you just made me feel dread for the first time in 6 months.
God, that would be
Oh
so
my
fucking
God.
funny if I...
That was me. That was my fucking villain, or that was my canon event. That's what just happened. Holy shit. We'll talk about it. But yeah, I just realized that I was like, yeah, I'll beat Final Fantasy. Nope. Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that should be the game that like that we should all like make each other beat, because Austin's already beat it.
That's
and
true.
then I'm gonna beat it and you're gonna beat it.
What was my game for him? Did I do him? Yeah, I did, because he gave me
Yeah.
the poop. Oh, he already beat it as Neon White.
Oh yeah.
Well, look at us being idiots.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, I've started Tawny's game
What was
3 different times,
his?
and I'm gonna be honest with you, Tawny. I don't know if this was for me, man. I used to love these. So it's Planescape Torment is the one he gave me, and it's one of those old school CRPGs that was like, it was like Baldur's Gate, and like it's very much built around like old school D&D, and it's like
Oh shit.
it plays like Diablo, or at least like visually plays like Diablo. Yeah, it's not that It's not that I think it's bad. It's just that, like,
32 hours.
yeah, it's not great. It's not great. Our prospects for continuing the challenge are not great.
Oh no. Fix it.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
we'll see how things go. Spider-Man and Alan Wake were like the two big ones that I was waiting for the end of the year. Call of Duty, I really want to play, but I know that if I get that game, I'm going to just do nothing but play multiplayer, and I can't allow that to happen. No. So that's going to be a game that is going to have to come.
Next year when we don't have a challenge and we just play backlog games, multiplayer games with each other all the time, like Sea of Thieves and Call of Duty.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay, but for real, can you just tell everyone real quick that my new game is Spider-Man? So we don't have to.
We'll see.
Hey! No, no. Look. It would be great if it could just happen now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. All right. Why did I...
So Dylan has a new game that has yet to be announced.
Yep.
Speaking of games that have yet to be announced,
see, let's just do that. Wait, what does that mean? Oh, no, what does that mean?
I was just going to transition to Spider-Man 2 with something that was very clearly not the correct transition.
You mean the game that's my game to beat from you for this year?
I mean, it's my game of the year.
Yes. Agreed.
Dude, it's really funny that within the span of about a month...
It beat Lies of P?
Yeah, within the span of about a month, Spider-Man... my game of the year has changed twice. It went from Street Fighter 6...
There we go.
Yeah, it went from Street Fighter 6 to Lies of P, and now it's Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's definitively my game of the year.
Yeah, I'm having a total blast with this fucking game, dude. Like, this game has enamored me in quite the same way that Lies of P did. Like, not so much that they're similar in their gameplay styles, but like, I am currently, I think, somewhere around like the 35, 40, somewhere in there, percent mark. So I'm about a third of the way through. Maybe a half, maybe, I doubt it, but like...
That's not what 30% means?
You don't know what 30% means?
No, I'm just saying 30%, that does not mean half.
No. I'm saying I'm somewhere between like a third and a half. It's possible that I'm at a half. I don't know the exact progression.
I don't either, to be honest with you.
I'm somewhere between 30 and 50%.
Yeah.
And it's just so very, very good. It's just so very, very good. Like, it is literally everything that the first game was, and I loved that first game. That first game was my game of the year for 2018 or 2019. I don't remember which year it came out.
18. Yeah.
Beating out God of War, which everyone was like, "Ooh, God of War, fuck God of War."
Yeah, fuck
yeah, so like, it's currently my game of the year. I'm having an absolute and total blast with it. Like, everything from that first game is in here still, and it still works.
Plus the fucking Miles part, that's from his game. That's perfect.
Yeah, literally, dude, I feel like I've been playing, with the exception of the story stuff, I feel like I've been playing more as Miles, just swinging around the city and stuff. Like, he's the one that I've been playing as.
Yeah, he's my Spider-Man. Miles is like, I prefer him. I grew up with Peter, but then when I found out and read a little, I don't want to say I read Miles' Ultimate comic, but I think that's where I first started with him, where I think Peter, quote unquote, came back from the dead or something. I don't remember what it was, but I think that's the comic that introduced me to him. I've not read a lot of Spider-Man comics in my life. I've read that one, and I think I've read Kraven's Last Hunt, and something else that I cannot remember. But I generally gravitate towards Miles, man. And yeah, I think I've played more Miles this playthrough, with the exception of like trying to clear out a lot of Peter's side quests and stuff. Yeah, but I can't put it down. I mean, I know it's a thing with me where I say, "Oh, I've not done anything. I've just been playing games here and there." No, I've not done anything but play this. When I come home and I'm finished with my activities for the afternoon, I sit my ass on this game and I stay on it and I can't stop playing. And I'm not saying it's the story, because I'm about as far as you are, but I've put 20 plus God knows how many hours in it, and I'm just swinging around the city, doing side quests, taking pictures, like photographs, screenshots and stuff. That usually each screenshot that I take takes me like 5-10 minutes to set that up. So that takes, and I've taken a lot of screenshots, and I'll progress with the story here and there, but I know it's a shorter story, so I'm trying to fluff my journey with just doing everything. Like, when I beat this game, I hope I have 100% district completion. That's my goal right now. I essentially want to be able to platinum this within my first playthrough, if I can do that. And
yeah, that's my goal as well.
Yeah, it is my game of the year, and nothing even remotely scratches it or comes close. I didn't have a Lies of P this year. Like, I had some really good games and I had some really good times, but I thought Mirage was going to do it, and then I played this, and it's like, it blew me out of the water, man. I think I went into it the right way, knowing absolutely nothing about it. Aside from like a few trailers, I guess, no story points. I still, I won't talk about story, because that could have in itself been a spoiler. But going into it with as little information as I possibly could was the right move, because I have not been this addicted to something in a very long time. It is so fluid in every aspect of the word, and they do so much right in terms of diversity and inclusivity, and just all of the little, dude, even as far as all of the different little mini games or puzzles that I've had to do in the game, even down to those, they're so much fun, and they utilize haptic feedback and the controllers so well. I love it, man. Like, down to the most minute detail, they have gotten this game to work flawlessly, and it looks so beautiful. So beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I say that it's my game of the year. I do want to give it like a little bit more time before I solidify that as like fact.
Yeah.
But like it 100% has become like my go-to for, like, I want to play something, I want to play Spider-Man. You know what I mean? And that was Lies of P up until this game came out. Like, it was very much a, like, if I wanted to play a video game, I was playing Lies of P. I think that, like, right now, currently, I don't want to play anything else other than this game, which is, you know, a testament to how good it is. We'll see if it remains this way throughout the rest of the year. But
I don't remember.
yeah,
what
it's good. It's a real
next.
good game, man.
It's so good, and we'll talk more. Like, I know that was very sparing, but we're not trying to break down super big details this week, because Austin's already played and finished it, and then Josh and I are catching up. So we're gonna talk more next week about. Talk more soon about it. What was I about to say? What comes out next this year? Not Alan Wake, because that is your next game. But is there something else that's not Call of Duty that's semi-hyped, or was Spider-Man the last one?
I think that was the last one for like stuff that you would be interested in, because the next big thing that I can think of is Super Mario RPG.
Oh, I might actually, dude. I haven't played a Nintendo title in a while this year, and I'm not gonna get Pokemon like I thought I was, the Detective Pikachu. So I might do that. And then trying to just fly through this real quick, but Warcraft Rumble, what the fuck is that? There's a mobile game coming from Warcraft? What? Look, they're already doing things. Yeah, dude, I guess I'm all done. Oh, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. I told Sabrina to get that and play it with her. And that comes out in December.
Okay.
It looks good. Like, I'll give it that. Like, I don't really like the Avatar world, the blue people Avatar, but it looks really pretty, and I'm down for some freaky alien world adventures.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. I mean, that all said, that's what I've been doing, and like you said, we'll talk more in depth about this for sure next week with Austin, because I know that he's already beaten it and he's got a lot of thoughts. Yeah. We'll see. For me, how things end up, because Alan Wake 2, I think, is shaping up to be a real Game of the Year contender for me. Everything that I've been like seeing of it, like footage wise,
shit, if that makes you change your Game of the Year again.
Yeah, that would be fucking crazy. If that's how that worked out.
Yep. 4 in the matter of 2 months.
Yep. So, but we'll see. I'm not 100% convinced that it will be, but I'm also very optimistic because it looks insane. Like, I'm blown away by all the stuff that I'm seeing. So, we'll see. We'll see. Well, yeah, I guess that's it. We'll get to the picks of the week and we'll get out of here. My pick of the week is a song/music video on YouTube. MGMT's A Little Dark Age. I feel like I may have already done this before, but if I have not, I'm a big MGMT fan.
Yep.
I really, really like their first 2 albums. And then Little Dark Age, the album, I think is maybe their best. I really fucking dig that album. But the song I've just had playing on repeat recently. I don't know what it is specifically about it that has gotten me back into it. But yeah, I am just really, really digging it. Very good song. Got some really interesting, like the way it builds. Like it's just like layer after layer after layer. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's really good stuff. So check it out.
Fucking love MGMT, man. Like, one of my comfort albums is Oracular Spectacular.
Yeah, Oracular Spectacular is really good.
Yeah, I'll just throw that shit on whenever. Man on the Moon is also one of my comfort albums. Like, those 2 I can just float back to. But fucking great choice. MGMT is underrated.
Yes.
This week, for me, I got a song from an artist called Mark Madness, M-A-R-C Madness, and the song is called Arrakis, A-R-R-A-K-I-S. This is more EDM kind of music, but it has a weird Egyptian theme to it, and it's a vibe, man. It just has this kind of upbeat feel to it, and sounds really good. It came on my Discover Weekly this week, and I'm sharing it with everyone else. Done.
Hell yeah. Well, that sounds interesting, to say the least.
I'm not saying like fuck. It's just give it a listen. I'm not going to explain it. Just give it a listen. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'll try it out. Well, as always, you can find me on social media, Culture Pop.
Yep.
On Instagram at culture_pop, on YouTube at youtube.com/c/culture pop. Me, if you want, I'm on Twitter at the BebopMan182 and on Instagram at BebopMan182. Lastly, we got a Patreon. Go check it out. Patreon.com/culturepop. Consider tossing us a pledge. We got some really cool stuff over there. I can't remember if this... I think I had an idea for something with the Patreon that I actually haven't implemented, so I'm not going to talk about it just yet. But yeah, we do have some cool stuff going on over there, and yeah, so go check it out and support us. But I think that's it. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here, go get some dinner and whatnot. Yeah, so until next time, goodbye.